Hi everyone. I'm going to make a really short video for now, since it's really just pretty late and I don't want to show my face because yeah, it was yeah, I just turned in early and everything, so I have everything on my face, so including the facial moisturizer, which isn't absorbing well. But anyway, that's it. I just want to talk a little bit more about something that came across my mind. And that I came across like one friend. He told me something about this bunch of acquaintances that he knew since his father. I think his father's Malaysian, but his mother's Taiwanese. So he said something about this bunch of people on social media. I kind of knew that these people were who they are. It's his bunch of so-called acquaintances. Since he was in dance and everything, and I asked him, why do these so-called acquaintances of yours behave that way? They are dressed up in a certain way, was so campy, was so yeah, just for lack of a better word, to say gay. Okay, all those stuff that I thought that like most normal people wouldn't dress up in, or most normal men. Okay, heterosexual or what not. Okay, even I don't even think that gay men or bisexual men would dress up like that outside. Okay, it's just weird because of the way they were dressing up. Okay, and these were dancers, and he just said, that friend of mine just said they're all gay. I asked him, you don't find them the way they behave like it's pretty effeminate and pretty how should I say, the way they dress is just weird. All those those kind of campy how should I say, queer fashion, whatever they call it, with all those uh yeah, those midriff bearing sleeveless crop tops and the fishnet things, whatever. I don't know what to say to describe it. You have to actually see for yourself. But that the whole thing is this. I'm not talking about any particular group, whatever, LGBT. I'm not targeting anyone. Okay. Thing is this. I kind of realize, especially because today's catechism with the subdeacon, from the Orthodox Church, which I was attending. Okay. Yeah, it's a Western Rite Orthodox Church. So, and the thing is this, when the more I think about it, it just sort of settled on me. The whole idea of like our sexual standards, the sexual standards that I actually adhere to, and then as opposed to the way the world sees it. Okay, the world, not just liberal world, but let's just say a world with people of different values, different faiths, sometimes not even faiths but nominal confessions of faith or whatever and whatnot, and even different persuasions, politically, socially. It just kind of dawned on me. I realized this. The thing is, I'm quite old by now. I'm really 47, turning 48. Okay, and although I know people say, oh, you don't look 47. Yeah, of course I don't, because I take care of myself and everything. But I just kind of, it dawned on me certain things about the way our sexual standards are, as opposed to a large part of the world. When I was in my 20s, or in like late into my 30s, my early 30s, into my mid 30s. Okay, like my one friend of mine back from this travel agency, which is very near the Walmart near my home. Okay, back when I was still living in Canada, in Calgary. Yeah, he used to tell me this thing. Kevin, you are aware that sometimes when a guy talks to you and flatters you and speaks to you in a flattering way, they might have motives, right? Especially because you are still considered a strapping youth back then. I was like, yeah, I guess so, but I don't think I was very interested in sex to begin with. Okay, And even let's just say that, or even I wasn't interested anyway. So, but it kind of dawned on me, the whole thing with people telling me stuff, and you have like I have had people like okay, let's just say this, because I actually in my own field see it as in terms of comparative physics. Sometimes you encounter certain people like photographers. Some of the photographers are not straight. Okay, actually some of them are not. Obviously a lot of them are not, especially in Singapore, in the West. Okay, back when I was in my younger years, also when I was actually doing that car fitness modeling thing. One of them, he was telling me, oh, because he's gay, but he just said, you need. I can't believe that. He said, I can't believe that you are like trying to be voluntarily celibate. I mean, although you can get a guy or girl, whatever, depending on your sexuality, whatever. But he said you should just go out and do it, and whatever, and just get someone to sleep with and whatever. I said, why? I mean, I didn't want to tell him things to say that no, it's not whatever, it's not something in my kind of value. I mean, y'all know that it's not my values, but I kind of realized a lot of the world, okay, there's this whole thing, the expectation that they have of you, that you must lose your so-called virginity by a certain age. You must be sleeping around with how many people, as many as you can, even if that person is not going to be your life partner or your spouse or whatever. Or I mean, and it doesn't make sense to me, because I think that the whole thing is this. I don't really know whether people are aware of this. Like they did a study of all these statistics sociologically, and they found that it's actually done from a non-partisan perspective. Basically, and it's not affiliated to any religious denomination or church or religion, or even it's just within the setting of a university. Found that those people who among those people who started experiencing the sex, okay, way earlier at a younger age, and then and also for those who actually have had the experience of cohabiting before they got married, they found that there's a higher preponderance of actually divorce and separation when that happened. So what does this tell us? It tells us that the thing is this, sex isn't really something to take lightly. Okay, people who take it very lightly, like by going out to experience as much as they can before they even get married or settle down. For those people who do that, okay, the likelihood of that relationship not lasting becomes way, way, way higher. Okay, and that makes you wonder. That the thing is this. I hate it when people just ask me and tell me stuff. Why don't you do this thing? Why don't you do that thing? I said, why should I? I mean, what do I get from it? I mean, that sounds a very practical way of answering, but it's not just that. But morally, spiritually, emotionally, what does that open me up to? Like I always told people in my earlier videos, sleeping around with people, even if it's someone, a girl, for me a girl, or like even if I end up experimenting, I don't want to experiment anyway. Let's just say that you do that. I say it doesn't just apply to me, but to anyone else. That sleeping around with someone, by doing so, you're just catching their so-called demons. I'm not saying everyone is demon possessed, but it's just that you're catching their sexual energy. You don't catch demons in that physical sense that we see in like Hollywood movies, but you catch their energy, their vibe, their personality. There's all this exchange of hormones other than bodily fluids, and the hormones, the peptides. Okay, the peptides being a thing that cause you to be addicted to the person, like, and even the hormones like oxytocin, adrenaline, all this really makes you develop unnecessary attraction or deepens what you really have towards the other person. And I think there's a reason why you see that in like in my own, at least in my own faith itself. Why does the Christian faith, regardless of the denomination, why does it actually discourage us getting into a sexual dalliance, okay, whether with the same sex or with the opposite sex or whatever, okay? Why does, or even just premarital sex, why does it actually totally just discourage that? Okay, there's a reason, okay? Why do you want to catch on the energy of the other person? Okay, I can never get it. And I'm not saying that I'm like really that innocent, because obviously in my younger years or in my more impressionable years, I might have been, let's just say, I might have been tempted. And then even that, the grooming experience, that was a really, really traumatizing experience, okay? The one with the narcissistic abuse, everything. It taught me this: even if it's not a willing experience, okay? Or even if it's kind of like under some form of manipulation or whatever, okay, or taunting, eventually any form of physical intimacy or sex or whatever will cause you to actually catch that energy, okay? That sexual energy, that spiritual energy of that person. And that is no light energy, okay? It's a dark energy, very, very dark. I'm not speaking in terms of new age thing, but I'm just speaking in terms of the very fact that of the other person, the other person, for them to even do it with you, a lot of times they are operating under some form of motivation, some form of spirit with open and close inverted commas, because the word psyche in Greek, which means soul, okay, or probably spirit, is actually linked to the word psychology, okay? We are catching a part of their psychology, their soul, their spirit, the energy. It is highly contagious and is extremely negative, possibly even demonic and satanic, okay? The thing is this, I mean, the catechism we were talking about it, the subdeacon was telling us, because that for subdeacons or those so-called pastoral figures who are ordained, if you are not married and you're ordained into holy orders, subsequently that you can't marry anymore. Okay, that's in the Orthodox Church. And once you marry and then after that you get ordained, it's still possible, but you cannot rise up to the ranks to become a bishop, because to be a bishop you need to be a monk, okay? That's just the way it goes in the hierarchy of the Orthodox churches. But that kind of thing said, he was telling us something. He said he was talking about the Ten Commandments, okay, and then how part of the Ten Commandments, I mean, they are given to the Jews, the people of Israel, but just because they are given to the Jews and Israel doesn't mean that they do not hold true even for us as Christians. And part of the thing was about having no graven images or other gods before God. And one of the so-called gods would be, in this world, is actually sex. It is sex. I mean, we have so many people going out to experience it before they even get married. They praise it as a norm, okay? They glorify it, okay? Look at what's happening right now in this world. And then people trying to tell me, oh, you must go out and experience it. Nah, I don't need to, okay? Right now, I told people, how hard is it to find someone who's a virgin in our day and age? probably like less than 1%, okay, and then of a population, and then even not just even that, to find someone who has even less than a body count of 5, okay, yeah, it's even as impossible. And I just told one student of mine back then, he just finished his degree recent. I think he's finishing soon. I think he has a few more months, but I'm not tutoring him anymore. Yeah, helping him with essay help and everything. But and he was telling his girlfriend, or his girlfriend was picking on him, like the most current girlfriend said, "Oh, you have a body count of 40 before you met me." And then he was saying, "Well, but you had a body count of over 25." Oh my goodness, I was like, but do y'all know that you all both have the boy and the girl, the man, I mean the guy in his late 20s and the girlfriend in the who's younger than him, or I mean by a number of years, being a law undergraduate in some British university. So she was like, I told him, can you believe it? Both of you are talking, comparing body counts. Like she's 20 something. I mean, she has a body count 20 something. You have a body count 40, and goodness, what about me? I'm older than both of you by at least more than 15 years. Okay, and then yet I have a body count of less than 5. And you say, are you serious? Yeah. Less than 5. Okay, and it's not even a body count, because if you were to count in the grooming experience and voluntary ones, probably it's not even a body, though these are not considered body counts. I didn't realize that was the whole thing. But the thing is this: why is our society glorifying body counts, premarital sex, and then downplaying voluntary celibacy and chastity as things to be laughed at, or things to be removed from our lives? It doesn't make sense, and we shouldn't be even standing for the kind of stuff. Because I think that basically, based on my experience, I know that I mean, I'm not supposed to tell anyone much, but eventually I had to talk to my priest during confession, telling him, this was my past. I don't do it anymore, obviously. I don't, and it's not even that I do it anyway, because I was being manipulated, or pressurized, or yeah, basically it was coercion, okay, that was involved in that whole situation, and it was very traumatizing. Okay, I don't know how I could even bring myself to talk about this. But so when people convince me of this, I was just say, yeah, I was just like silently just okay, like you just let them keep on talking and talking and talking. Especially if it's online, it's easier because they can keep on talking and talking. After a while, I'll just pretend it doesn't matter. But it just makes me realize what has this world come to. And our sexual standards, this is my sexual standards at least. People who want to do something different, go ahead, I'm not stopping you. You're gonna be the ones paying for it in the end. I think so. Yeah, I believe in that. So and even I have other friends who tell me, like when they lost their so-called, not they didn't lose their opportunity because they have had experience. And one of them told me about those few girls that he slept with. I asked him, what was that with the girls you slept with? How they end and whatever. He said not very good, because he said that there were two extremes. One extreme was that those girls who were very prudish, who were extremely controlling, didn't allow him to talk to anyone of the opposite sex. That was one thing. And then it seems to be a common thing among us guys generally. And then the other thing was the opposite, was the like girls who are so open. He was talking about Chinese girls, girls he met in China, because he spent quite a bit of time in China working for his father's business trip and everything. He said that thing aside, okay, some of those girls actually wanted more than just sex or an emotional attachment, okay, or relationship. They wanted an open relationship, and it seems to be a very common thing among the Chinese girls as far as he told me. Obviously, I haven't had the bad luck or whatever to encounter such a girl, thankfully. I mean, if I do, I'll just tell them bye bye, okay, you know, because I don't like people like that. Yeah, I just don't like people like that. Um, they can take a long walk at the shop here. But he told me that it was a very common thing, and he said, you know what? That's also why the relationship with them ended, because those girls wanted to date other guys while seeing him, and obviously he wasn't buying that. Okay, so but the whole thing is this. What do I mean by all this? I'm like going around long in circles talking about this. I feel that I just want to say, put it out there. You know what? Especially coming from my point of view as someone who has been through all this kind of emotional abuse and narcissistic abuse. None of us should be pressurized, okay, to get into physically and sexually intimate situations, okay, and none of us should ever say yes to what the rest of the world is telling us about, or us needing to get into this thing. Just go in, and then you go in, you come out of it, and nothing's gonna happen. No, something happens, okay, whether it's willing or not unwilling. Something's gonna happen. I can say that based on all this, both based on different experience, the few I would say one or two experience, including the grooming experience, yes, virtually changed me for the rest of my life. Okay, I have to undergo counseling for that. Counseling, psychotherapy. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't worth it. Okay, because I realized the point is this: when you don't respect yourself, okay, or when you don't, it's not even just respecting yourself. When you don't even protect yourself, when you don't guard your own heart, other than your body, how much more are you able to guard your own spirit? You can't. Okay, your own soul and spirit are going to be like broken down by the experience. So you know what? So now when people tell me stuff about, you should try, just get out again, whatever. It's not that I don't want to get out again. I don't want to get out, no new people or whatever, or even just make friends. I'm very, very careful. I'm very circumspect. Okay, because why should I just take everyone's word for it that what? I'll make new friends and just I'll find my new lover or whatever, or date, or maybe I'll make my future spouse my wife. I have to be really careful. I don't know. I don't think I know that anymore. Okay, but at least I know one thing's for sure. My standards are not the same as the world standards, and I think that's fine. I don't care about people telling me stuff that I'm in the L group, the loser group, or simply refusing to do that. Okay, so yeah, so that's it, and I'll be ending this video just like that because, well, that's the point. I mean, I want to be different. I don't care that people think this way. I don't think anyone else should be bothering to follow this world, in terms of the sexual standards. It's gonna kill us, it's gonna hurt us. Okay, so have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.